another episode of A Couple Sips podcast. I'm Derry,
I'm Drew.
and thank you everyone for just tuning in to the last couple episodes that we published, that we put out. I thank you guys for all your support.
And in this episode, guys, we're going to be talking about couple struggles. So mainly, we're going to be talking about communication, trust/faithfulness, and then also we're going to be talking about what we thought we wanted versus what we actually got within our relationship. And Derry, do you want to touch on that?
Wow, I was going to say, yeah, that's kind of deep. I think a lot of people push that to the side and wow, talking about what we got versus what we wanted. I mean, do we really want each other, Andrew?
I mean, I feel like there's a lot of things that I didn't expect to have in this relationship with you, but there's also a lot of things that kind of grew on me as well. So, I mean, we'll get deeper into it, but let's start with communication. So, within any relationship, whether it's actual like boyfriend girlfriend or just simply like a coworker relationship or business, whatever, you always need communication. And Derry, what is something that you feel like people our age don't really understand when it comes to communication?
I think people our age don't understand how much communication can solve a problem. Like, I feel like a lot of the times saying where you are or saying where you're going is a sign of control, or it's seen as control, when really it's about just keeping contact with one another. It's not about keeping a tab on one another. It's more so saying, hey, I'm open to tell you who I am, where I'm going, who I'm going to be with, because I have nothing to hide.
Yeah, and I also feel like a lot of, that deals with communication, right, is not only just being able to tell your partner how you're feeling, but to be able to receive what your partner is telling you. Because I feel
Wow.
like, a lot of people just take it as an, okay, I'm just going to have to listen to this person and then do what they want. No, it's not about that. It's more so about
Right.
understanding where they are and where they're at with the situation and receiving that and allowing yourself to kind of adapt towards a solution.
Yeah, because I think even in the beginning of our relationship, like, communication was something that, I mean, we struggled with a little bit, but I feel like every couple has something that they struggle with. That's why this episode is called Couple Struggles.
Yeah, yeah.
And so I think that in any relationship, when especially being 18, being so young, our communication was kind of lacking, because I don't think you were used to having to tell your girlfriend where you were going or who you were with at first. And I don't think you had bad intentions. I think that we were just being a serious relationship. We were being a serious couple at a young age.
Yeah, not to put anybody else on the spot, but it's
Mm-hmm.
like I feel like we had, friends that, were in relationships that didn't always have the best communication. And it kind of like, well, at a young age, right?
Right.
And it kind of like rubbed off on us a little bit. Not to blame anybody, because we're the only two people that can truly make a relationship work. But
Right.
I just felt like there was definitely bad examples, especially when I was trying to learn how to communicate with you. It was more
Mm-hmm.
so, okay, like, let's see the people around me and see if that's something that I should be doing too, right?
Yeah, I mean, it was all about influence. I think that I don't fault you for feeling how you felt or saying what you were saying or doing what you were doing. It was just more so you were trying to become a young man
Yeah.
and you had influence. And I think that we both, learned how to be better communicators.
Yeah, and I feel like another thing is that when two young people that are, trying to strive for marriage or trying to strive for the best outcome within a relationship, right? It's kind of like communication at times should just come natural. It should just
Mm,
come like second nature, because without communication there is no real relationship, because how are you supposed to be able to navigate between each other's feelings, be able to really truly understand your partner on a deeper level? Because if you're just assuming things, and if you're just allowing yourself to take on baggage, or your partner is just having baggage and you're just taking it, it's kind of like, how are you ever supposed to elevate and deepen your communication skills?
I think that's a good way to say it. And I also feel like a lot of women at times want their man to assume how they're feeling. Even though, babe, you know me and you know my facial expressions and you know when I'm mad. So you'll ask me just naturally. But I feel like when it comes to you, Andrew, I think that I knew from the very beginning you needed me to tell you when I was mad.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Like
And
you
and
need
even sometimes now it's kind of
Yeah.
just like I don't know. Like if you, I'm the type of person that is very illiterate when it comes to
Yeah,
reading a room. I don't know
for
how to read a
sure.
room like that. I mean, or at least when it comes to relationship stuff or just like social interaction. Because I'm a true introvert. Like I don't really have that much interaction with in a social crowd. But it's kind of like you need to tell me exactly how you feel or else, and I'm a type of person who's blunt. I like things to be received how I kind of dish it out.
Right. And I feel like, honestly, don't get me wrong, I was never that type of like young girl who would just, I want you, Andrew, to assume every little emotion that I'm feeling. But I feel like in the beginning, it was a little bit frustrating that you didn't get my emotions quickly. But that also taught me how to communicate. And now Andrew has no excuse, you guys. Now I tell him straight up how I feel when I feel it, and if he still doesn't get it, that's where we get in trouble.
Okay, I thought you were about to go a completely different route. Like I should just know everything. No, but
Right.
but if you tell me, yeah, no, for sure, I'll definitely. It's on me if I don't do anything to make the situation better. But also, like I feel like there's a lot of couples or just relationships in general that kind of take the communication aspect like for granted. Not well, maybe not for granted, but like just for like they rely on that. Like oh, well,
Right.
your communication is bad or my communication is up here and yours is down here. It's like there's no real way to have perfect communication. You just have to be able to understand how your partner receives things and take in, even if it's not the way that you want it, have the capabilities to kind of adapt towards understanding what your partner means. Like learn what your partner is saying, learn what how they say things and what they're feeling. And so in the future, if they have a similar type of reaction towards something, then you can be able to interpret what they really mean when they're saying things.
Wow. Well said. Well said. I want to ask you a question, Andrew. What have you learned from like maybe when we first got together, so like 18 until now, to now, that involves communication and that you apply in our relationship today?
I feel like, man, that's a good question. I think that there's a lot of things I've learned, but the biggest thing I would say is that I truly need to like key in when you're trying to tell me something serious. Like I'm not the type of person that can just kind of like be like and then like not really pay attention and then understand, like especially if it's something serious. But like I feel like there's also moments where I can kind of be in a mood and I have to allow my emotions to not intervene with our communication, because I feel like
Mm-hmm.
when I'm in a mood where I just don't care, that just makes me want to listen even less.
I mean, that's pretty human. I feel like everyone has got to that point in a relationship, and so basically what you're saying is you've learned now how to really like listen effectively.
Yeah, I feel like that's just the biggest thing, like with our communication, is being able to listen and not really jump the gun on things, because I feel like there's times where I felt like I knew what you were going to say, but it ended up being something way different. And then we had to start from ground one.
See? I'm always a surprise to him cuz I'm not regular. So
Okay, well, I I I don't know what that means, but I guess we can roll with it.
Oh my goodness.
See, you're even surprising me now. I don't know what that means.
Babe, well, it's basically sometimes, see, you assumed what I was feeling or what I was going to say, but really, I was mature enough to tell you something that you didn't expect to hear.
Yeah. And I
Yeah.
feel like another thing that I had to grow out of was just being afraid. Like, I don't know, this might be a guy thing, this might just be a me thing, but it's kind of like when your girlfriend says, "Hey, we need to talk," like
Oh,
that's just
yeah.
never a good thing that men want to hear.
Yeah. You were,
Because
yeah.
because if you really didn't have anything quote unquote bad to say, you would just say it, but you women, I feel like sometimes kind of, you know, they have their key words. Like that may not be every woman's like key phrase when they want to talk about something serious, but like that is a phrase that is, pretty typical that people in general, not just women, people in general use to be like, "Hey, I got something serious, but I don't want to say it right now."
I mean, I can't really say every single time, oh, can we talk is a bad thing
Well, yeah, yeah,
because
I know that it's not
no, no, no,
because
but
yeah.
like I'm saying, like I think that you have taken it, because I can be like, hey, babe, can we talk? And I want to talk about maybe going on a date. And, I just don't even say the words, can we talk anymore?
Mm-hmm.
Because you're just so, like, you're out of it when I say that.
I mean, like I said, it's one of those things that just triggers my mind. It's like, dang, like, what did I do this time? You know?
You always do something. It's like,
Yeah.
no.
But yeah, what would you say is like some trigger words for you that kind of like you don't like hearing?
Um, Honestly, when you say what's wrong over and over, when I'm literally telling you what's wrong, like it boils my blood when he's like, I'm explaining to him exactly what I feel, exactly what's wrong. And you guys, he will literally say after that, well, why are you upset? Are you kidding me right now? I just explained to
I
you why
feel
I'm
like I
upset.
say it sometimes just because I want, like, maybe because whatever it is that you're upset about wouldn't make me upset and I don't get it. Therefore, I'm like, well, what's wrong? Like, as in, like, so what's the problem with that? You know what I mean?
Yeah, but like you just don't use full sentences. You'll be like, so what's the problem or what's wrong? And
Yeah.
I'm like, are you kidding me?
Yeah, well, I get that. I mean,
Yeah,
if I explained it how I did, then yeah, I should be able to kind of go in more depth. Like, I don't understand,
exactly.
you know.
Use different words. But you see, men be, I don't know, they
Well,
try
no,
to,
I say I don't understand more times than not nowadays, but I'm just saying, like, it's, I,
no.
it's one of those things where men usually, and I'm not gonna speak on every guy, but a lot of the guys I know just don't know when they're wrong because they're like, "What did I do?"
Yeah, that's always the excuse. What did I do? I didn't do anything.
No,
Okay.
it's kind of like because men are clueless when it comes to girl problems. And don't get me wrong, there are women that are clueless to guy problems. Like
Yeah.
you don't like not all women are going to get guys in their whatever ticks them off, but guys is like a whole nother level. Like that's like times 100. Like we will never know women's struggles or problems.
True. True.